To this week's G.I. Joe Toy review, where we will actually be ending Women's Month, Women of G.I. Joe Month this month. So this is the end of my 2 month worth of women's reviews here on Cobra Island. And we will be doing the nurse from G.I. Joe, G.I. Jane. Or at least she looks like a nurse, or the physicist, or whatever you want to call her. At least she's in the medical field also. So, but before we get to Jinx, let's do our usual shout-outs. I'm going to do it again with Time Travelers first. Time Traveler Toys and Collectibles, which is located at 115 South Loudon Street here in Winchester, Virginia. And you can buy and sell comics, toys, and collectibles. And you can email them at timetravelertoys@gmail.com and find them on Facebook. And when you go in, you can go in and talk to Charles, Jack, and see all the G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Transformers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, He-Man, She-Ra, Thundercats, Star Trek, Star Wars, WWE stuff that they all got. They got a whole rack of stuff in there. It's an awesome store. Go in and see Charles and Jack, and they'll hook you up. And while you're in that neighborhood, stop at Back to the Media at 41 South Loudon Street, where you can get your video games, movies, toys, and records and music and stuff like that. So go ahead and check them out. And if you want to know more about them, visit them at www.backtothemedia.com, or you can find them on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also email them at backtothemedia@gmail.com. So go ahead and check them out. You can get all kinds of video game stuff, dating all the way back to the Atari up to current systems. So go ahead and check them out. So let's do our feature presentation of G.I. Jane. And like always, we're going to start with the file card. And it says on the file card, it says, Physicist, codename G.I. Jane. File name, Jane Ann Matelli. However you pronounce it. I hope I said it right. I probably butchered it. Primary military specialty is particle physics. Secondary military specialty is combat nurse. I did say she was a nurse in last week's video. If y'all remember when I was studying, trying to trip it over what to call her. Her birthplace is Cumberland, Rhode Island. And it says G.I. Jane was a military operative whose cover was a combat nurse in missions around the globe. She provided her medical skill and scientific expertise in strategic defense technology. When G.I. Joe formed his covert team, speaking of Joe Colton, he recruited her as a scientific specialist while maintaining her official cover as a nurse. She eventually left the military to get a PhD in physics. Although no longer on the active roster, she had in fact moved to deep cover operations. When G.I. Joe retired from the team and became head of a secret military defense installation, he brought G.I. Jane onto the team as the lead scientist. Her work has been instrumental in the development of weapons and other cutting-edge technology used by the G.I. Joe team in global defense initiatives. Quote here at the bottom says, I battle Cobra by developing scientific technology. Of course, when I'm up to my ears in bad guys, just throw me an assault rifle and get out of my way. Really shows her as being really badass. Which is actually pretty cool, especially seeing these women in G.I. Joe being really badass. Both being on the G.I. Joe side as well as Cobra side. All these women got to be badass, being what they're each team is trying to do. You got Cobra trying to take over the world, so you got to be badass at that. As well as the G.I. Joe team, you got to be badass in trying to stop them. It's just the way it works. But let's take a look at G.I. Jane. She's another one of those in plain outfit, which I like. She's blonde. She's got blonde hair, long blonde hair, which is shoulder length. Well, not really shoulder length. It's just down to her jawline, which actually is pretty cool. She does have a long neck, but that's pretty cool. That's maybe because her head is removable, but who wants to remove a lady's head? But it's got the white shirt with the official tag or name key tag. She's got this black belt, which actually has a holster on it for her pistol. It was actually like a mint green, a lime green, at least what the camera shows up. She's got her green fatigues, pouches all over the place on her fatigues, all the way down to her brown combat boots. And she's also got a watch on this hand, which is pretty sweet. So let's take a look at the articulation. Of course, her head can rotate the full 360, which is pretty sweet. Her arms can raise up to there, rotate the full 360. She can bend at the elbow to there, and she can also rotate at the elbow as well as rotate at the wrist. She does have once again, the ab crunch feature, which is actually very predominant and very noticeable. And she can do the side to side and the up to down. And she does have typical T-hook at the legs, where her legs can sprint about there. Not as far as Jinx is last week, but then G.I. Jane isn't a ninja, she's a physicist. And she could do her little what I call the rocket kick, but it's not as high as everybody else's, but it still works. And double knee joint. She does pivot at the ankle, as well as rotate at the ankle, which is pretty sweet. That was a look at her articulation. So let's go ahead and take a look at G.I. Jane all geared up. Oh, but before we do, actually, I forgot to look at her accessories, which she does come with her removable lab coat, sleeveless lab coat with Jane written on the front. She comes with her figure stand, upraised G.I. Joe logo, codename G.I. Jane. There's the code name again. We will really not use that and just go by G.I. Jane. She has her green assault rifle, and she comes with her little hand pistol, which goes in a little holster on her belt. And she's got a laptop, which has got the G.I. Joe logo right there on the front. And it actually can open. Hang on a second, let me pause this, I'll show you how it opens. And here it is open. As you can see, this part here where my thumb's at supposed to be the monitor. If I can hold it in my hand right. Here we go. See, that part's supposed to be the monitor, that part's supposed to be the keyboard. With that very nice looking laptop. She can hold it in both of her hands, but when she's battle ready, who's going to take a laptop into battle? But hey, it's very nice if you want to just hold her at the G.I. Joe Labs with the Eco Warriors or whatever, or with Lifeline and Doc and Carla Greer and whatnot, and she can hold her laptop. But if she's out fighting, just give her a gun, and whatnot, like her quote says. So let's take a look at her in battle gear. And here she is, with the laptop open in battle gear, her holster in the pocket. But her articulation is hindered when she's got her coat on, which I think would be the only minor drawback to this figure with the articulation. But still awesome looking figure, awesome looking details. I like the whole lab coat thing with the name tag and especially the laptop. It's cool to have them like that. Of course, data frame came with like a little personalized computer. But this is our girl G.I. Jane here. So I also like to do a special shout out to all nurses, our CNAs, RNs, and and whatnot in the medical field, all female doctors. As a shout out. I do work in a nursing home facility, part time at a nursing home, and I actually enjoy myself when I'm working there. It's actually a nice little job. I work in the kitchen. I'm a dietary aide over there, which is actually a fun job, especially being able to talk to the residents when I go, deliver their trays to them. Really nice facility. But enough about that. But this is a G.I. Joe review, not a job review. But This is G.I. Jane. You know, awesome figure. I love this figure. They say she's very easy to pose. She could be like calculating what her next move is on the laptop. So especially if she's in an area that's got Wi-Fi. But this, like I said, this does it for G.I. Jane. Does make an appearance in the vintage run. I know it's in the later versions, as well as IDW, and she doesn't make any cartoon appearances. And no vintage reviews. And Joe Fan 82 does do a review of this figure, an excellent review. But this ends Women's Month, the double Women's Month. You know, I will be doing other ladies in future videos, so y'all ladies are not forgotten. And so tune in next month as I do a Vipers Month Volume 2. As we started off with the Night Viper. So tune in next week as we do the Green Night Viper. And yes, I say green because there's also a red version, which Joe Fan 82 done a review on that one also. So check that out. But tune in next week as we review Night Viper. This has been G.I. Jane and Women's Month. So to all y'all ladies, thank you very much for all the work you do in everyday life. We do appreciate, at least I appreciate you. You guys are tougher than what most, y'all ladies are more tougher than most men that I know. Because y'all could handle a lot more than we could. But this has been G.I. Jane. This has been Double Women's Month. I hope you all have enjoyed it as much as I have. Especially to give ladies a shout out. So tune in next week to see Night Viper. And I hope y'all are continuing y'all love of Cobra Convergence 5 this month. It was a pleasure being a part of it this year. So thanks again, Hoodie Cobra Commander 788. I really appreciate being a part of it. So tune in next week as we do Viper Month. And as always for Cobra Island, now you know, and knowing is head to battle. Peace, love, and hair grease. See y'all in the next one.